taking accountability for where we are in our lives and the things that we have in our lives is really important, so that you don't look at it from a place of like, oh, poor me. You look at it from a place of, I've not manifested it yet, or it's not been that important.
If we are being created at the image of our Creator and He manifests things with His word and it came to reality, then we also have that in us. But I think like sometimes what is holding us back is fear.
So I sat down and I wrote a letter to God, and I said, the next relationship I get into will be with my husband. I was like, I am now ready to meet my husband. And so that's what I'm ready for. And here's what I'm not one of those like no, right? But like the world slowed down. Everybody else was like blurry, and it was just me and him on the dance floor. That's how it felt. The song was like 2 minutes and 50 seconds. It felt like it was 20 days. Like it felt like slow motion. Like I just knew.
That's my sister. That's my other side. Never need nobody else around. You know we catch a vibe. See us at the party. Know we active. Yeah, we getting live. Forever stick together. Together we gon' rise. That's my sister. We are high. Said come at 6. She there at 5. Need to talk. She gonna have 5.
Hey sis.
Sorry guys. Hey sis.
What is funny? Do you want to tell the people? Do you want to come
Girl,
to the front of the class
Girl,
and share what's funny?
Girl, I don't know. I just feel like every time we're recording, I'm in this, energy of laughing. I don't know why. I feel like I'm enjoying. It brings me joy.
So cool. I have to be honest. It's like one of my, if not my favorite project of the year so far. I was telling you.
Right?
Yeah. I was
Oh,
telling you, I
wow.
was like, this is the project of like, this one of the episodes we recorded, I don't know if it has aired already, we were talking about like having something that is just for you. That's your thing, right? Like something that there's no pressure for it to do anything. And it blesses you so much by just doing it that whatever else
Yes.
is bonus, this is that project for me.
Right.
Like, I don't have to get ready. I don't have to like be a different version. Nobody, like it just feel like I'm having conversations that we always have, and we're inviting other sis to join
That's
us.
true. That's
It just
so
feels very
true.
organic and fun. And
Yes, it's fun.
therapeutic
It's
and all the
fun.
things.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Because guys, something you need to know, just like a small story, is that this thing of Hey Sis, we are always talking, my sister and I, every time. So it really looks like it's just like one of those random days where I'm just taking my phone. I'm like, hey sis, what's up, girl? If you know what happened today, hey, you will never imagine. So, but first of all, sis, you are so beautiful. I love everything. How you tie the hair, the jewelry, the dress. Please show them. Let's see a little bit of your dress.
Listen, I can't show the whole thing now, but
Okay.
thanks, sis. Thank you. I never wear earrings, so I'm literally wearing this for you guys, and it's coming off. It's coming off in the next 25 minutes. But when your hair is pulled back, I figure we should do it. We should like have some earrings for you guys. But listen, let's jump right into today. So sis, let's start with catching up. Like, how are things going? How you doing? What's up? What are you into, listening to, vibing
Yeah.
to recently?
So right now I'm reading this book. I know for some people it's a little bit creepy, but it's like called the Money Covenant, the money deliverance from the Money Covenant. And it's like this pastor, I'll have to remember the name of the pastor. He's a Nigerian pastor who wrote the book, and he's talking about his personal experience because he used to be in witchcraft and all those things. And it's just so beautiful because it kind of like dive into the subject and the topic of today, which is like the power of manifestation. And reading that book just gave me another, idea about life, about spirituality, about everything we do in our life. And the book is just so amazing. It talks about, it gives me a different idea about spirituality, people, religion, culture, tradition, our words, everything, even tattoos, all these things, and I'm eating that book, literally. I'm eating it. It's just so amazing, and you don't need to be a believer. You can read it as if you're just reading a story, which is so beautiful. Yeah. So that's what I've been up to lately. What about you, sis?
What have I been? So I found another show And I've watched like
Okay.
5 seasons. So this summer has
Already?
been Scandal, and then Prison Break. Prison Break.
Oh
Have you
wow.
watched Prison Break, sis?
I did, girl. I
I watched it
did.
years ago, but I couldn't even remember. I think I watched just the first season and then I stopped. Oh, I think it's 5 seasons. I think I watched
Yeah, it
all
should be
of it.
5.
Loved it. So that's what I was into watching was Prison Break. So I'm looking for my next thing to watch. That's going to give me like 5, 8, 10 seasons.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm watching shows. Like another podcast that I could have would be just reviewing shows. Like
Yeah, I think you should because the way you've been talking about Scandal when you were around, girl, I was like,
and then what happened? And then Kamala might become the first woman president. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
and in Scandal, the first woman president became president. So what
That's
I'm telling you
true.
is that like I'm almost prophetic with my shows.
Okay, girl. I mean, that's manifestation.
I hope not, because Prison Break, we don't want to manifest, okay? But anyway, that has been my kind of relaxation kind of thing. So I'm looking for the next show. But that's what I've been doing. I've been reading a lot of books on sales. There's a book by Grant Cardone, Sell or Be Sold. It's a
Sell
book
will be
that-
sold. Oh, I like the topic.
That book woke me up. Okay. I was like, oh, you've been sleeping. You think you were doing something? You were not. So that book, like, has that vibe. So be aware. Like, if you want
Oh,
your life
that's
to be
nice.
changed in a serious way, in terms of taking
Yeah.
care of business, that book
Yeah.
is everything. So,
Okay. We love that about you. So we're gonna get into our discussion and conversation of today, and which is like the power of manifestation. So I don't know if you remember our last episode when we're talking about renewal, So I would love to say this is a little continuation because it's kind of a little bit related, but the power of manifestation. What is manifestation, first of all? Sis, what do you understand by like manifesting?
so manifesting to me, the way I understand it is like, and Ethan is the king of manifestation, but it's like
Okay.
basically making things happen. Like how the Bible says, speak a thing, right? Like when it says that that faith, basically, really like faith is speaking things into existence that don't exist, right? So you're sick, you say, I am healed. It's the power of your word, right? It's saying the thing until the thing becomes a reality. And so depending on how you want to look at it, if you want to look at it from a spiritual perspective, well, that's what the Bible asks you to do, is to speak life, that the power of life or death is in your tongue. It's talking about manifesting. If you're talking about from just a neuroscience thing, where it says like basically that like there's a study of a group of people. One group they thought for 1 week they were trying to teach them how to play the piano, and so every day for hours they're like teaching them how to play the note. And then you have another group where they just ask them to visualize themselves playing the piano and playing, right? And the week after, the group that visualized was better at playing the piano. Both group had never played. Was better at playing the piano than the group that actually practiced. So even when you talk about just like from a neuroscience perspective, the wiring, right, that happens in your brain and the rewiring that happens in your brain when you are making belief, because the brain doesn't know the truth from the lie. Like that's why we shout at movie theater, right? Because you think that you're in the movie, but girl, you're not in the movie. Why are you shouting, right? Your brain doesn't know the difference. And so you can almost, manifesting is telling your brain that something has happened so that your brain is tricked into thinking it has happened and make it then a reality for you. So even from a psychology, neuroscience perspective, there's so much around manifestation. So no matter how you kind of want to look at it, there's so many studies about like if you speak to water, was it water or was it a plant? I think they've done it with a plant also, where it's like if you're saying negative things to a plant, two plants, one you're saying, oh, you're amazing, positive thing, and another plant you're saying you're terrible, the plant dies. The plant that you say negative things to die. Like it is in every area, every aspect of our lives. And so no matter where you attack it, manifesting is just recognizing that you have the power to create your reality, that you're not responsible for everything in your life. Like, you know, if you were born with one leg or you were born to a terrible father, you're not responsible for those things, but that you have the power, right, to change your reality. So anyway, that's what I hear when I hear manifestation. What about you?
I mean,
Like,
I share,
how do you understand it?
I share it just like you, to be honest. I share it just like you. And I think I'll even go like on a deeper level, but like on the spirituality, like the Bible, when, for example, they say God created the first day, he created the earth and heaven, you know, and he said, let it be light, and light came out. And when he created man, he said, man has been made according to the image of God, and he named that creation mankind. So I always go with the fact that if we are being created at the image of our creator, and he manifests things with his word and it came to reality, then we also have that in us. But I think like sometimes what is holding us back is fear of failure, you know. It's fear. That's the only thing. Fear is the one that is holding us, because when you manifest something, it's not about like you saying it and you just, you know, and that's it. No, you have to have the faith. That's why you talked about faith. You really have to believe deep in it. It's like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen. Period. I don't know how the outcomes are going to be, but I know that I have hands, I have legs, I have my mind, I have my eyes. For those, I have all your senses. I will use it. And even if you don't have all your senses, you still have other means to get to it. So that's how I see manifestation. Okay. So, please, just for our Hey Sis and our fellow sisters to kind of like have a glimpse of what we're talking about, would you like love to share like one of your experience or how you manifested things in your life, how it has actually like changed things for you and up to where it brought you?
There are so many, and it's kind of creepy because, like, when I tell you, it's kind of creepy to me because I'm very much like, we grew up. My dad is a science guy; he's a doctor, so like, and things are very black and white with him. So that's how I grew up, and so all that like hug a tree and like just think and things happen, like not necessarily how I grew up. So if you're listening to this and you're like, this is BS, listen, click off, because I get you. I understand. I was that girl too. But the first thing that I can remember manifesting actually, there's been a lot of things, but the one that I want to talk about was relationship. My husband. I don't think you know this. So,
No.
but I don't think I even knew that. I didn't know what I know now. Like, I don't think I went in and I'm like, ooh, now I'm going to just manifest my husband. I didn't know what I know now. But what happened was, I was in a relationship and we broke up, right? And I said to myself, you know what? And I was in that relationship. It wasn't even like, it was a thing where I was settling, but don't feel bad. I was settling on purpose. I was just like, oh, it's summer. I don't want to be, the summer is about to be fall. I don't want to be single.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just so that I can focus and not be distracted by all these boys. Let me just be in a relationship, because if I'm in a relationship, I'm faithful. And so I was just with this guy, and then he ended up cheating on me. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. You mean to tell me that like I was managing this relationship and you have the nerve to cheat on me? Then I might as well go for what I really want, right? And so when we broke up, it's not that I was heartbroken. It was just a thing of like, you know what? Then let me just go for what I really want, kind of thing. And so I sat down. I wish I still had this letter. And I wrote a letter to God. And I said, the next relationship I get into, and I'm 20 years old, first of all, but I was like, the next relationship I get into will be with my husband. I am now ready. I don't know why at 20 you feel like you're ready, but I had confidence. I was like, I am now ready to meet my husband. And so that's what I'm ready for. And here's what I want. I created a list. I'm talking about a long list. Wrote it out. Like, I typed it up and printed it out, actually. I think it was like 50, 60 questions that I will ask. And then here were the things that I was looking for. And I wrote it in my journal, and I told God, and that was it. And to me, it was bottom line. Like, there was no doubt in my mind. Like, I want you to understand. It was a non-negotiable. It was going to happen. Period. I just knew it. And so I met somebody. We went on a few dates. And I started asking him all these questions, right? And he wasn't checking the boxes. I was like, no, that's not him, kind of thing. And then we went on, like, I think it was our first or maybe our second official date with this guy. And I met my husband on that second date.
Oh wow. Oh
I
wow.
met my husband on that second date at a club, and I don't club. My sister will tell you, I've never been a clubber. I met him at a club because my friend who was dating his roommate had come from another town, and she was like, let's meet, let's see each other. And the only place we could meet was at the club. And I was like, okay, I'm already going to be at a movie with this guy, and it's all in the same neighborhood anyway. When we finish the movies, we'll stop at the club so I can say hi to you. I won't stay long because, I don't do clubs like that. And then I'll go home. Think about all the unlikely things that had to happen. And
God, you had a day with you.
You know what I mean? And so I went there, met him. And one of the things I told God was, when I meet him, I want to know right away. I didn't want to go with this thing of, God, is he my husband? Let me fast. Let me go ahead. I wanted to just know. And I was like, and I need him to know even more than I do. Period. I don't want this playing of games. So when I met my husband, so we get introduced. I had seen him before, but I didn't know that at the time. I had seen him before, but I didn't realize it was the same guy I had met before.
Oh, wow.
They introduced me. It's loud, it's the club, it's all that. So I see my friend, say hi. She introduced me to her boyfriend. I had met him one time before, so I said hi to him. I knew the face. And they introduced me to her boyfriend's roommate, who is not my husband. And I'm like, oh, hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We are here, we are chilling. Then the guy I'm with says he's going to the bathroom, right? Like, oh, okay, no problem. Then my now husband says, ask me if I want to dance. I'm not a big dancer. I'm not the vibe. I'm not the party. I'm not none of those things, all right? But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be rude. Sure, let's go dance. And it was Zouk. And when I tell you that during that dance, I knew.
Oh, wow.
I knew the world slowed down. And again, I'm not one of those like, the fairy tale. No, right? But like the world slowed down. Everybody else was like blurry, and it was just me and him on the dance floor. That's how it felt. It felt like the song was like 2 minutes and 50 seconds. It felt like it was 20 days. Like it felt like slow motion. Like I just knew. We had not said 2 sentences. I've danced with multiple people before. Like there was nothing about that dance that should have been, but I just knew. I knew that something happened. The guy comes back, and I think he knew too that something had shifted, because he comes back from the bathroom and he's like, "Oh, let's go. I'm ready to go." I'm like, "We just got here. We literally were at that club for like 8 minutes." His attitude changed, his mood changed, the whole thing. I was like, we literally just got here. He's like, no, let's go. I was like, okay, well, let's go. And as we are going, my now husband asked for my number, and I'm like, he's like, oh, would it be rude to ask for your number while you're on a date with somebody else? I was like, yes, that would be. I was like, that would be very rude. But ask my friend, she has my number. I got home. My roommate, she had traveled. That's why she had traveled. She came back at like 2 in the morning, and I said to her, I met a guy. I think you know him. She knew him too. Long story, she knew him. And I was like, I think you know him. I think he's the one. She's like, what the hell? I've gone for 3 days. I come back, and you're like, you think he's the one? And you were not even on a date with this guy. We met the next day. I called my friend. I was stressed. I was like, I called my friend. I was like, are you still at your boyfriend's house? Is his roommate there? She's like, oh, he just asked me for your number. I was like, yep. Let me talk to him. We spoke. He was like, what are you doing later today?
Okay, girl.
I was like, nothing. He's like, okay, come over. I'll cook for you. And the rest is history. We went on that, it was whatever date. And ever since that day, we've been together, right? And then 3 months later, we got engaged. We got married. And like, craziest kind of thing. So that's one of the big, like that. I love that story because like, I didn't even know necessarily that I was looking back now, knowing kind of like how you go about manifesting. All the steps were there. In terms of just having,
wow,
like,
this is so powerful.
But that's one thing I manifested. What's one thing because you are the queen, by the way, guys. Let me say this, which is why I wanted us to have this topic, because I was like, Manuela is one of the most, it's one thing to manifest these big things, but like, Manuela consistently manifests things in her life. Consistently. And so, because like, okay, you are married once. How many husbands do you need to manifest? How many, do you know what I mean? Like, so to me, that's great that I was able to do that, but I want to manifest even the smaller things, because like trips and things and like, you know what I mean? Like I want the manifestation to be part of my daily life. And I feel like I look up to you in that area so much, because you, girl, you have, so I want you to tell stories around it, but I just want to set the stage for the people so that they can really lean in that like you have this faith that I'm sitting here like there have been many, many times where I'm like, but Manuela, what you are saying now is not reality. There's no way you are planning a trip to North Korea. Was it it's North Korea, right?
South Korea, girl, not North Korea. Hey, please.
There's no way you are planning a trip to South Korea when we just talked about that the money is not mathing. And you are talking, and it's not just that she's planning a trip, right? It's that she's saying, oh, you know, we have to go first class. Like, oh, let me look at this hotel. I'm like, sis, we were just trying to figure out how to get enough euros at this grocery store to buy our bread. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, yep. She's like, let me put it in my notebook. Like, because, you know, let's look first class. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, 4,000? Okay, that's not bad. Like, it's that kind of like, that to me is what I'm lacking. And I really want you to talk to the people and me around like, where does that belief come from? Do you understand that it's manifesting? Like all of that. You go.
So, first of all, I never knew that was even manifestation. She's the one that told me that last week. And I was like, oh, wow, true. So the thing is, maybe I never realized it because I have always worked like that. Ever since I can remember, you know, I've always been, when I've put something in my mind, I'm like, yep, it's going to happen. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. So I'm going to take the story of this sign.
And the podcast.
This sign.
And the podcast.
Yeah, actually the podcast, that's true. So the story of this podcast. So when I came back from the US, because as you guys know, I think we have not yet come to that story, but I was living in the US for quite a time. And I came back 3 months ago. Yeah, 3 months ago. And I was, you know, I had this thing in mind, which was like, I want to talk. I want to talk to people. I want to help people, you know. And I think first thing is I really wanted to talk. I wanted to share my stories. You know, I always say I'm an open book, but I really wanted to reach a lot of people, especially the women and also the men, you know. So I'm here with my sister. We're having like our normal conversation. We are like 2 hours on the phone. And I'm like, sis, why don't we make like a podcast, you know, of where we're talking, you and me, all the story, because I love how we're talking, because we are not judging people. We are taking accountability. We are self-aware. We're always trying to figure out like where we were wrong, you know. So I so much love having conversation with people that are like this, because they're not here to tell you that, oh, that person is not good. This person is not good. It's always about like, okay, let's look at the situation as a whole picture. So she was like, you know what? Let's do it. So the feeling immediately came, you know. So from there, guys, I immediately started thinking about, okay, we need to get neon lights, we need to get mics, we need to get this, we're gonna have this. And my sister, you know, she always thought we didn't know. You get to know her. She always starts with a no. But this time she immediately said yes. So it gave me more courage, you know, to believe in this. So I will be like writing down things. She'll be coming in, when she came in France, I'll be telling her like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do this. And, you know, little by little, the idea started growing up. And I remember my nephew, Ethan, who is her firstborn, saying that, I know you guys are never going to do the podcast. I was like, why do you say that? He's like, my parents are always saying they're going to do a podcast, but they never do it. I was like, that's because your mom did not do it with me. But this time, it's going to happen. Trust me on that. And guys, I myself, I knew it was going to happen, but at the same time, I was also feeling a little bit lazy. But because I knew it was something that was bigger than us, you know, and I really wanted it to happen. You know, I really wanted it to happen. We didn't have money. I mean, we're not broke, but we didn't have, we didn't have
money assigned for this. Okay.
Assigned for it.
Like, who's like, let's start
yes.
small. And that's maybe kind of like even
exactly
the power of it's what are you, because we are always manifesting, sis. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut, but I think that's
that's
an
fine,
important thing. We are always manifesting. The life that you have right now, you manifested it. And that's the thing. I think
Yes.
people don't realize that you are always, whether you want to or not, you are manifesting, right? And so
Being good or
are you-
bad.
good or bad or indifferent, but you are manifesting. And so what I realized and why I wanted us to have this thing is I realized that I'm manifesting small because I like to start small, while my sister is all, and I'm manifesting small, and I'm manifesting the grind because I like even when I'm like in everything, I'm like, oh, it's going to be a small group, it's only going to be 20. And while my sister is like, no, we need the signage. And I'm like, we have not even recorded one episode. How about we even record an episode, see if you like it? Why do we need the mic? Why do we need the light? Why do we need all that? And my sister always, like, when I was manifesting my husband, I didn't manifest half a man. I didn't say, oh, I just want 2 things.
She went with the whole picture.
I wanted my whole package, right? And so what I love about what you're sharing for people to hear is you can manifest anything. We could manifest any type of podcast. But what you had the vision that I didn't have was I'm manifesting a full picture. I'm not going to half birth this thing.
No.
I'm going to manifest a full. What is a full picture? What is the dream? What is it that I want? I want a fully created picture. And if I'm going to have to manifest something, let me manifest first class. If I'm manifesting a trip, why not manifest the whole thing? And I think
That's the thing.
Is the power of what that encounter was.
No, that's true. That's true. But I also want you guys to know that, it's good. It's good to go with your idea. I'm not telling you that if you love going small, go small, But I personally, it's just that I love being comfortable and I want things to be done away when I have it in mind. Like this podcast for me, it wasn't just about coming here and talking. I wanted to show you the light, the energy, the love, the desire we had. And it had to go with the details. And I had everything in mind. I was like, the finance is not there. I don't care. We're going to get the money. If it means that I don't have to do shopping, if it means that I have to cut things in my food to get this thing, I will get it. And we did, we did it. And at one point, I'm not going to lie, along the road, I was a little skeptic, like, because my sister was like, yeah, but maybe we should wait. And I was like, okay, you're right. But the moment she left France, guys, I ordered everything that was in my mind.
Which is why she has the sign and I don't have the sign. Okay?
She doesn't have the sign here, but
you can tell the difference in the manifestation, and it's like, why don't I have the sign, right? Like, because the question that we have to ask, if you are manifesting, if you're believing that the thing that you are manifesting is going to be here to stay, would you want to half step it? I think of that, right? One of the things that talks about is that one of his regret is not getting more land. Like, even when he was saying, I think at some point he said that the place next door was available, but he didn't buy it for his private clinic. Not because it was expensive. Sometimes it's because we don't even imagine all that it can be. And so, to your point, dream big. Dream for the fullness of the thing that it can be. Is what I've learned from you, right? Because it takes as much energy to manifest less than it does more. People think, because it's more, it's going to take more. No.
It's the same energy, guys.
It's the same energy.
It's the same energy. It's the same energy.
So why not go for what you want?
That's true. And also something I want you guys to know is, sometimes you will manifest things, you will believe in it, and it may not work, but that's not a problem. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world. I always say a failure in a project is a success in another one.
Come on with a word. Come on. Say that again. Back.
A failure in a project is always a success for another one, guys. Meaning, I manifested something else in my life, which is to become a therapist. So I'm going back to school, and talking in Hey Sis, is giving me a therapeutical approach in learning, reading from you guys, being here. Even first of all, you guys need to understand I'm bilingual. So I sometimes struggle with English, like I struggle with French. And doing this podcast in English is a very huge challenge for me because I need to know how to use the words. I need to slow down when talking. But I'm like, first of all, I don't believe this is going to be a failure. But even if it is, I know it's also going to be a bigger success because we don't know how many people we're going to help with this, how we're going to help ourselves, the other accomplishment that we are going to be doing for the next door, for the next generation, for the next season. So this is how I always put things in my mind where I go with an idea. And maybe that's why, my sister would say, like, I will manifest bigger things. I would say, I just think about all the open doors that is going to come around. And I go 100%. And maybe that's why sometimes I get tired, I get frustrated, I start crying because I feel like I've been giving all my all and it's working. But then I just start crying because I'm tired, and because like many people maybe don't understand what I'm doing. But this is also another topic for another day. They will not understand all the job I'm putting in my manifestation, in the renewal, in all of those things. So I will turn up crying, be like, okay, maybe it's not working. But no, it is working,
Well, every time I see that sign behind you, I know it's working, child. I'm like, okay. So, sis, can you give like specifics and maybe because it's not something that you knew you were doing on purpose, but if you can think of like steps, right? People are like, okay, I've never really heard of manifestation. How do I go about then manifesting this thing? So
yeah. So I would say the first step. So I would say like the first thing is to acknowledge your power. First thing, acknowledge your power, acknowledge your weakness. Then ask yourself, if this person was able to do it, why can't I do it? There's no reason. Like, there's no reason that I can't do something. If I practice, I can do it. I may not be the best because I believe everyone has his gifts, but it doesn't mean I can do it. And you start with little steps. Waking up in the morning. When you decide, okay, now I'll be waking up at 6 a.m. Even the day you're tired, you will wake up at 6 a.m. Even if it's just for like 5 minutes, you will wake up. I mean, just study it. Go with the sleep. When you start having a routine, they say the brain always like, get used to something.
Yeah.
It can be 8 a.m., it can be 10 a.m., regardless. You will see that every time without you even knowing, your body will just, be adapting to that. That's already a power of manifestation. And when you start realizing that, oh, wait, I have the power to do this. Then you go ahead with other projects. And here's the thing. When you take a decision to do something, forget about, because they always say like, oh, you need to see the negative side. Hell no.
Okay, I don't see that.
I don't see, no. I know they can be like shortcomings, but I don't look at the negative side. Nope. I go with the fact that this is going to happen. It will happen.
So
that means when
an example for the people, right? Like the one thing you are manifesting right now is a trip, right? The trip to Korea that you are manifesting.
Okay, I'll not even go with the trip with Korea. Okay, I'll go with a trip. So I'm a bridesmaid for a wedding, and the wedding is in Spain. So it happened that my resident card expired, and I had an appointment in November. So I had to tell to the bride that, hey, I may not come in Spain. So she was kind of like a little bit annoyed by it. And I was like, God, I don't know what to tell you because I reached out to them and they told me they can't do anything. So I was like, wait a minute. I'm single. That marriage, I don't know what will happen there. I can find Nigerian boy. And I was like, I'm going to that wedding. Then I have my other friend who's like, how are you going to go? You don't have the papers. I told her like, wait and see. I will have it. So I went back, texted back those people, and I told them like, hey, I understand what you're saying that I'll have to wait 15 days after my papers are going to expire for you to give it to me. And my papers are going to expire like on the 11th of September. So I told them that, but that's not possible because I have many commitments. I have my job. I have an employment. So I need those papers to be valid. I don't know how it's going to happen, but please do something. 2 days later, I received an appointment for the 5th of September to come and get my recipe. the 5th of September. And my friend was like,
I want to pull back because there are steps there that and I want to pull them out. So for the people listening, right? First thing first was there's something that seems impossible, right? We're not manifesting air because you have air, right? So the first thing is like this thing that you want, that you feel obviously that is not going to happen. It can't happen for whatever reason. The law, or you think it's going to take 10 years or whatever. It doesn't seem like it can happen in the realm of what you are able to do, right?
Exactly.
So that was the first thing. The reality on the table was you cannot travel because of your paper. Those are facts. That's a fact.
Facts. Mm-hmm.
Then step one is you had an awakening, a thing of like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got clear on what you want. I want to be at my friend's wedding. Not just I'm going to be at my friend's wedding. Similar to how I said, the next person I date, I'm marrying.
Exactly.
Facts. It's not a question.
Facts.
Sentence.
It's not a question.
It is what it is. Period. So that kind of unshakable, you made a statement, you started speaking it. It wasn't even like you're hiding. You told your friend, I'm going to the wedding. It wasn't maybe if this, I'm going to the wedding. So whatever the thing is, you're manifesting a trip, I'm going on a trip. You are going. You make it a statement and you believe. So talk to me then about like, what gave you the audacity to believe, even though everything else said otherwise? Like you don't work for the immigration. Like what gave you that belief?
So I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. God. From the fact that and I always knew that, to be honest, even if I've not always been like a strong believer, I always knew that I had that power in me, and that faith. And I know that everything that seems impossible is not impossible for him, especially when I do a petition and I tell him that I want this. You may say it's not good for me, but let me try it. That's how stubborn I'm with him and how persistent I'm with him.
Okay.
So that's where
your kind of moral view of the world is that nothing is impossible. You walk
nothing
around
is impossible,
assuming that if I don't have something, I didn't want it.
Exactly.
So if I want something, I want to get it.
Yeah, for me is if I can't have something, there's two reasons. First is maybe because I didn't really believe in it, and my desire wasn't that much, or I was just being careless, it all goes with that. Or maybe regardless of how many petitions I did to God, and even if he allowed me to eat, that wasn't what he wanted for me. But it was not because I couldn't have it, because I have that authority. I do. If this is gonna sound a little bit cruel, but it's, for example, to say like, if tomorrow I decide that I want to become a criminal, I'll do it. Who's gonna hold me? It's like a criminal that decide that, I now want to have a righteous life, and he does. We have like many testimony. I invite you guys to even look it on YouTube. The name is like Testimony. You will see. That's what I'm saying. Like nothing. I want everyone to put it in your mind. There is nothing you can't do. Nothing at all. Of course, you need to work. It's not easy. It's not. It requires a lot of strength. It requires a lot of discipline. And it requires a lot of faith. Faith is what helps us.
Part is the biggest thing, right? Because
it is.
In this example, the work you did was just to call. You made a phone call.
Yes.
Right? But the phone call was easy for you to make because you believed.
I did.
Imagine making that phone call when you know it ain't going to happen. They're wasting your time. It's not happening. Then it feels like a drag. But when you have
you will not
faith,
even call.
No, you won't even call. Right?
You won't call.
So step one, the foundation even for you before we talk step is this belief that you can have anything that you want. Anything you can have. So that's that. Then step one is then making it a statement. Like be clear on what it is that you want. Like I want to be at my friend's wedding, or I want to manifest a trip. I want to fly first class. Then I think the next thing that I heard you say is really inspired actions, right? Calling those people, you could have emailed, you could have whatever, right? But that action that you took, I'm assuming was an inspired action. It was a thing that maybe you had the feeling, maybe you had the thing saying, hey, you know what? what can I do now? Now that I know this is happening, what is it that I can do? And sometimes it's doing nothing. Not everybody. I didn't go out and petition the court for my husband to come to me. But I was inspired to say yes to go to that date. I was inspired to go to the club, although I never go to the club, right? And so I believe that second step from what I heard from you is taking some inspired action. And so you made the call, and then that's crazy.
It is. But to be honest, and for people that may say like, okay, but what if I don't believe? I'm sorry, but we all have to believe in something. You know what? I can't tell you like, oh, you wake up and then you'll be manifesting things. Sorry, but that's not how things work. We all have to believe in something. I don't know in what you guys believe. I don't know in what maybe some of my brothers and sisters believe into, but we all need to believe in something. We all need. And guys, we all have that power in us. Don't think that this person, if I can do it, you can do it. As my sister said, we every day we're manifesting. Every day. Every day. When you're a child and you say, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor. That's you manifesting.
Yes.
That's you
and
doing
as
it.
parents, as a segue to that too, sis, as parents, it's very powerful what we tell our children.
Oh, it is.
Because we are in such a position of power and authority when it comes to our children that I see a lot of parents not understanding that the power of their words.
Oh,
They don't understand it for their own lives, and they definitely don't understand it when it comes to their children. I don't care who you are. You're not talking crazy about. Even if it's their dad. You are not saying things like, "Oh, he's lazy," or "He's not to my child, not too much on my child." Now you're not. Or like he may have failed, but he's not a failure. He may have disappointed you, but he's not a disappointment. Like I think it's very important. Even over our relationships and friendships and our sisterhood, what are we saying? Because a lot of the time it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know her. She never shows up for anybody. You think she can't feel that energy? That's why she ain't showing up, right? And so it's to your point, we are always manifesting, and we need to take accountability. We may not be responsible, but we need to take accountability that if there are things we don't like in our lives, right? One of the things that I'm working on is having deeper relationships, or manifesting deeper relationships and friendships with people outside of my sisters, right? And but what I have to realize is, am I that? Because one thing you said is it has to happen because you're in alignment with the thing. You have to go to that wedding because it aligns with your core belief. So if you are finding yourself in situations where you are attracting or manifesting bad relationships, bad friendships, or superficial friendships, or people are not there for you, are you that thing? Are you that friend? We have to be that. It has to be in alignment with who we are, because if you are that friend, then you will attract that.
That's true.
You can only attract who you are and what you believe.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying? So I can sit here every day and say, "Oh, I'm manifesting the trip to Spain." Do I believe? Or I'm manifesting a flight to? But do I, in my core, if I'm having belief that I'm not deserving of a good relationship, I'm not worthy, it's gonna be difficult. The reason why my sister is manifesting first class tickets all the time is that she doesn't know why not. She doesn't understand why. Like, why should she not fly first class? Like why I'm not manifesting? I'm not manifesting. Not because I can't have it. It's that I don't think I deserve it. And as long as I don't think I deserve it, because I feel like, oh, you have to work, you have to be deserving, it's a thing that you get to be at. This is something I learned from that. Like, you can't just,
That's true. Well, I learned something from him.
That's why I haven't manifested it. So I think taking accountability for where we are in our lives and the things that we have in our lives is really important, so that you don't look at it from a place of like, oh, poor me. You look at it from a place of, I've not manifested it yet, or it's not been that important. First class tickets have not been that important to me yet. It's not a thing that I'm actively wanting, and it's okay, right? And so I love, anyway, like I said, I feel like there needs to be a part 2 to this. Let us know,
Yes,
guys, if you want
definitely.
like part two, more stories of manifestation and things that we are like that we've manifested and all that stuff. Put that in the comments, and we'll share more. I know we are way over time, and I want to make sure that we get to our letter from
Yes,
our viewers.
I will get to it right now. Okay, so her name is Ava. So she said, "Dear Sandra and Manuela, I am Ava and I'm 29 years old. I've been watching Hey Sis for quite a time now, and most of your discussion does resonate deeply with me and my challenges. Your upcoming episode on the power of manifestation compares me to share a personal challenge that closer to my heart than any career ambitions. Recently, I embarked on a journey to manifest a deeper connection with my family, which has been strained for years. I visualize family gatherings filled with laughter and understanding. Set intentions each morning to reach out and express love, and even created a vision board featuring happy family photos. Despite this heartfelt effort, the reality has often fallen short, leaving me disheartened and skeptical about the power of my intentions. This struggle brings me to seek your wisdom. How can one effectively use manifestation to heal and enhance personal relationships? What strategies might help maintain faith in process, especially when the results are not immediately visible? Additionally, how can I manage the doubts that naturally arise when facing both internal skepticism and skepticism of those I am trying to connect with more deeply? Thank you for delving into such transformating topics and for the support you show extends to its listeners. I eagerly anticipate your guidance on making manifestation a more powerful tool in my personal life. Best regards, Ava. Oh, wow. So I would say the best person to respond to this is my sister, Sandra. Okay, maybe you don't know why. I'll tell you. I will tell you why. I will tell you why. So, I don't know if you remember, you are the one who came with the idea of our group chat, our family group chat, the phone calls. And that was also because we used to be very like separated, everyone has his own crew. And I remember my sister many times. And even one time, she's not a cry baby, but she did cry one time, where she expressed that feeling of having like a united family, and she did everything. When I said she did everything, she came up with family trips. This thing of board, she did one for like all our birthdays. She did everything. She's always like the one trying to gather everyone. She would say, I love gathering people, but I would say she's number one in that. Even for my dad's birthday, it was her whole idea. She wanted everyone to come. She wanted everyone to participate, not because, it was an obligation, but she wanted to bring that love. And it's something she has been doing for a very long time. And we didn't really understand that. We did have our own skepticism, and it, like many of us, even some of us were like doubting your intentions. And I saw how hurt she was, but she never backed down, which was like, girl, she would tell me, I'm done. And that's the thing. She will come to me. She'll be like, girl, I'm done. I have my own family. I have my own kids. I don't have time for these things. But the next day, she'll be like, sis, what do you think about this? Maybe we need to talk to this of our brother. Maybe we need to understand this. And I'll be like, okay, lead the way. I'll just follow you. But what's beautiful about it is that seeing her not backing down gave me the courage to follow her lead. And I can now see all my brothers and sisters doing the same thing. So what I'm going to talk to you, Ava, is continue. That's the power of manifestation. Maybe she didn't even know she was manifesting, but she did it. I would say she is the reason why we are united today. I never gave you that credit because it's reading this story, that I realized that, wait, this look kind of like familiar to me. And it reminded me of all the things that you did up to the point where one day her husband called me. And I think I was still in college. I just went to college. I was like in my first year of college, and he called me and he was like, you know, your sister really loves you. She's doing everything for your family to be united. She's crying. Maybe she's not going to tell you guys she's crying, but please, you need to help her. You're the only person that can help her. And I was like, what do you mean by helping her? Please, I don't have that time. But yeah. So it actually also helped us, you know, to lead the way. And now today, I would say, even when she doesn't have that time, you see one of our brothers that will come in with like, oh, let's go to Gambia. Let's go to Rwanda. Let's go to Manu's place, you know. So yeah, that's what I would love to share with you. So don't lose the hope. I wish you all the best of luck. You know, may God help you in this mission, and love you guys. Bye, sis.